After my heart attack, I didn't even own a motorcycle anymore, and honestly, for a while, I thought maybe that chapter of my life was over. Because something changes after you survive something like that. You don't just wake up one day and suddenly feel back to normal. You start questioning everything, your body, your future, your confidence, even the things you once loved, and motorcycles suddenly felt different. Not because I stopped loving them, but because fear had attached itself to them. People talk a lot about surviving a heart attack, but they don't talk much about what comes after. The anxiety, the overthinking, the fear of your own body letting you down again. You become hyper-aware of every feeling in your chest, every heartbeat, and somewhere in all of that, you start wondering if life will ever feel free again. Then came to the trip to Canada, and honestly I didn't realise how much I needed it. Beautiful roads, fresh air, mountains everywhere. One night we were sitting in the spa pool, just relaxing, when a couple of guys came over and started chatting with us. They were both ex-firemen, and somehow the conversation drifted onto motorcycles, as it usually does. You know what it's like when bike people meet bike people. Within 5 minutes you're talking about rides, Harleys, roads, stories. And then one of them casually said, "You should come for a ride with us tomorrow." At first I thought they were joking, but they weren't, and they offered me one of their bikes. To this day, I still think about that moment, because who does that? Who hands over their expensive motorcycle to a complete stranger they met in a spa pool? And honestly, part of me wanted to say yes immediately, but another part of me was terrified. Not because of the roads, not because of the bike, it was deeper than that. After the heart attack, I didn't fully trust myself anymore. That probably sounds strange unless you've been through something major in life, but it changes you. Before the heart attack I would have said yes in half a second. Afterwards everything felt different. I was excited, really excited. But underneath that excitement was fear. Fear of whether I was still capable. Fear of whether life was ever going to feel normal again. So that night I never really gave them a proper answer. The next morning around 9 o'clock my phone buzzed. A text message. "Are you coming?" And honestly that made the decision for me. So I got ready and headed off. First time riding a big Harley in Canada. In fact, first time riding a big Harley. And what a place to do it. We rode from Whistler down towards Squamish, through mountain roads, back roads, open scenery. And somewhere during that ride something shifted. For the first time in a long time, I stopped thinking about hospitals. Stopped thinking about heart monitors and fear and survival. I was just riding. Just living. And I can still remember that feeling. The sound of the bike, the mountains, the cold air. For a few hours I felt like myself again. And those guys probably have no idea how much that ride changed my life. To them it was probably just a nice ride with someone they met on holiday. But to me it was much bigger than that. That reminded me that the heart attack wasn't the end of who I was. It reminded me that life could still feel good again, and I was still here, and maybe still riding too. Sometimes healing starts with one unexpected ride. That ride reminded me of something important. The heart attack had changed me, but it hadn't taken everything from me. The desire to ride was still there, even with the fear, even with the anxiety, even knowing what could happen, and honestly, that scared me too. Because now I had a decision to make. Do I shut this part of my life down forever, or do I accept the fear and ride anyway? That decision eventually led me to the road glide, and looking back now, I think I chose that bike for more than practical reasons. It felt safe, stable and solid, at a time in life when I didn't feel very stable myself. The road glide became more than just a motorcycle. It became part of the rebuilding confidence, part of reclaiming freedom, part of proving to myself that life wasn't over. But I'll be honest, those first rides after the heart attack were emotional. Not exciting, emotional, because every ride carried two feelings at once, freedom and fear. Fear that something might happen again, fear of being alone somewhere, fear of whether my body could still be trusted. But every kilometre I rode, a little bit of confidence came back, not all at once, slowly. And I think that's what recovery really is, not becoming the person you were before, but learning that life can still be meaningful afterwards. The heart attack changed my life, but it didn't end it, and somewhere on those roads in Canada, I realised I still wanted to live it.